The following podcast is a part of RadioMisfits.com. And now it's time for the Mr. Nailsin Show. So this is the Mr. Nailsin Show, episode 447.
That right?
Yeah. So, boy, what a week, huh? Yeah. Remember Mar-a-Lago?
Yes, and that's pending. Don't think that's over. No, Trump is going down.
No, he's not.
He will not be able to run because he's a criminal.
No, he's not.
Well, it turns out, that being about all these classified documents that were found at the Mar-a-Lago estate.
That's right. They should not have been there.
He was president. He said they were declassified, then they were.
Well, that's true, Red. That is the power of the presidency. It is not the power of the Secretary of State, nor is it the power of the vice president.
That's not true. There's actually a rule where the vice president can be allowed to declassify documents that the vice president classified themselves. Yeah, that's right, Lefty. It remains to be seen if that's the case.
What?
But that would be the only scenario.
Well, good enough. I'll take it, and we'll run with it.
Well, goddamn. I mean, he's okay to have them documents just sitting in his garage.
Well, it was locked up, and he's very protective of his Corvette. So they were probably safe.
God damn. Holy shit.
Yeah, well, that was the latest one. There's probably more.
Oh, no, we don't know that.
But the other documents that they knew about before the midterm election.
What?
Isn't that nice?
Oh, God damn.
Was that a Biden think tank?
Well, come on.
Which Chinese government officials had access to.
No.
Yeah.
Well,
the thing is, I can understand why they
coincidence.
kept it under wraps before the election.
Yeah.
But why go ahead and let it all out now? And then even Merrick Garland appointed a special counsel to investigate this.
Well, there you go.
So it seems somebody within the Democratic Party has said, we got to make a move and get rid of Biden.
Yep.
Because before all this blew up, he had announced, he's running again for 2024.
Well, good for Joe. Good for Joe.
Yeah. Let's go, Brandon.
Oh, stop that. That's outrageous. And, I just find it fascinating. All of a sudden, you're all disturbed about classified documents being at the home of a former vice president when Donald Trump did the same damn thing.
No, he didn't.
All poo-pooed it.
Because he was president at the time.
Yeah.
Which, again, he can declassify it.
Well,
But on his own.
the
president has a lot of powers.
Well,
This scenario does not play.
he may have
for
had permission.
Joe Biden, nor did it. Certainly never even came close to playing out for Hillary Clinton.
Hell no.
But
Well, why we
you
gotta
did
bring
nothing.
her up?
You let these crimes go by the wayside.
Crimes.
And in this case, it's increasingly serious because Biden's family, his son, his brother, are obviously compromised, especially when it comes to China.
Oh, my God, that's xenophobia.
It's not good, but I suspect if anything were to occur about this, that he would bow out of running for re-election, is what they would do. But as far as any kind of justice or anything, no, nothing will come of it.
Oh, look, come on. This is all this panic and stuff, and just because you're just upset that your team didn't win. I mean, what's the worst that can happen from a Biden administration?
Oh my God, have you looked around? Crime through the roof, inflation, and war, and crazy people telling us we're going to have to eat bugs, and now they're going to take our gas stoves away.
Well, gas stoves are very dangerous. They're very dangerous. They're killing you. When'd you hear about that, Lefty?
5 minutes ago.
Well, there you go. That's pretty solid.
Oh, hell no. When I eat my steak, I'm going to be cooking with gas.
Oh, you can't have steak anymore. No, the cow farts. We really got to limit the cattle population. That's important.
What are we going to eat?
Well, they're looking into bugs, like you said. And, everybody gets all upset about it, but actually, there's a lot of nutritional properties within insects. So it's really something to explore. That's science.
Oh, hell no. Hell no.
Yeah, well, yeah, there is that. All of a sudden, gas stoves. Can't have that anymore. Can't have meat. Can't have anything. But then that's the idea, isn't it? We'll have nothing and love it for some reason.
Well, possessiveness. Come on. Isn't it time to just let go?
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Well, that's where we got to end it because my schedule being what it was, I don't have time for much more. But did record a new episode of Bugman, speaking of bugs, and a segment I did for originally Nailsin ratings video, but I did another take on it, but I saved the original, and I'll put that on here. And finally, coming up next, a brand new Nailsin news of vital information you need.
This is a Nailsin News Bulletin. Ex-Hooters girl accused of murder tells judge she'd pay bond with OnlyFans cash. Hello, I'm Mr. Nailsin. Yes, a former Texas Hooters waitress facing murder charges was denied her request for a lower bond, despite telling the judge that she could cover the proposed amount with her earnings from OnlyFans. Ashley Easelborn, 21, of Wichita Falls, asked Judge Jeff McKnight to lower her bond from $100,000 to $50,000. She claimed that she had $8,000 in a locked account from charging subscribers $12 per month on the adult content website and was working with the corporate office to get access to the funds. Judge McKnight denied Easelborn's request. Her bond was previously lowered from $1 million to $100,000 already. Easelborn was arrested and charged with first-degree murder on May 24th in connection to the beating death of Zachary Wood 24 days earlier. According to an affidavit, Easelborn confessed to being present at the Brown Street home where her boyfriend, William Bell, Ronnie Lang, and Peyton McKenzie Collier attacked Wood. She told police that the confrontation started when she and Collier accused Wood of stealing money and drugs from them. In her own confession, Collier told investigators that Easelborn did not participate in the beating, but cheered on the others. I wonder if she wore the outfit, too, And anyway, Collier remains in jail on $500,000 bond, and Bell is out on $200,000 bond. Ronnie Lang, who also faced an outstanding warrant for assault at the time of his arrest, pleaded guilty to murder and was sentenced to 50 years in prison. As for Easelborn, well, this story remains to be determined, but so far, it's a hoot. This has been a Nailsin News Bulletin. The Mr. Nailsin Show is brought to you by me, Night Night. Head over to IndiePlanet.com to get your copy of the Night Night comic book so that you can actually see me in action in my one-man war on crime. Shut up, Boo-o, God damn it. I do the announcements. Oh, God, no one gives a crap about Boo-o.
I'm part of the team, tell him about these false advertising. Yeah,
stupid idiot.
I help Night Night fight crime, and we blow stuff up and do a lot of damage. and of course, people get mad at us when we do. But
it's a war on crime, and in every war, there's collateral damage.
I mean, I guess it isn't one-man war because
exactly.
It's a two-man war on crime.
All right, anyway, we're running out of time. Don't miss this opportunity to get your hands on the adventures of Night Night
and Boo-Bo.
The Night Night comic book available at IndiePlanet.com.
Bugman, the mysterious masked menace to the criminal underworld, is in reality Bob Finger, billionaire pest control magnate, relaxes comfortably at his plush penthouse apartment when suddenly he hears a ring at his door.
It's about goddamn time.
Good evening, Mr. Finger. Are you ready for me to make use of my fingers to do the magic on your body?
So, you must be Miss Glory Hole. Let's see. Your picture on the site must be, a little old. Jeez. Look like you shriveled up like a prune here. But anyway, I guess, you're here, so might as well get to it.
As you wish, Mr. Finger. Do you want a back rub, a full body massage, or cut to the chase and get right to the ending?
Whoa. Straight to the point, huh? Well, sure, why not? I got the table set up back here.
No need, Mr. Finger. I can drop to my knees right here.
Oh,
just let me open your robe. Oh, well, looks like you're rising to the occasion already.
Whoa. Yeah, that's... man, that's good. By the way, Glory, did you ever work with another girl by the name of Holly Jolly?
No.
Oh, hey. Grip's a little rough there. Could you relax it a bit? Hey, what are you doing? Oh.
I am trying to rip your scrotal sack off so that you will bleed out.
What the hell? What kind of happy ending is that?
I did not say it would be happy. Only that it would be an ending. Your ending, Mr. Finger.
What? Stronger than she looks. Can't break her grip. Only one chance.
Driven to panic by his inability to free his scrotal sack from the stealing grip of the unusually strong harlot, Bob Finger, who is in reality Bugman, gives out his sonic bug scream.
Oh, that god-awful noise. Can't stand it. Losing concentration. Can't maintain grip. Losing consciousness.
There. She passed out. Oh, thank God. Oh, God, the pain. What the hell was this all about? Damn it. Good help's hard to find these days. What the hell? She's bleeding from her ears. I didn't think I could do that much damage. Perhaps due to the close quarters. Wait a minute. What is this? Some sort of device coming out of her ear. Interesting. This bears further investigation. I've got to get her down to the bug hole. But first, I'm gonna need to get an ice pack for my balls.
And so Bob Finger, who is in reality Bugman, takes the woman down to his secret lair, the bug hole, and summons his general manager of his pest control company and close confidant, Smedley Johnson, who's the only one who knows that Bob Finger is in reality Bugman.
Holy shit. This is some serious, sophisticated nanotechnology that came out of that bitch's ears. And I recognize it as nanotechnology, because I seen this shit on the Discovery Channel.
Then there's more to this than meets the eye, or the ears, as it were.
No doubt about it. You know, Mr. Finger, I guess I owe you an apology.
An apology? For what?
Well, I just assumed you'd call this hoe up to your room to get yourself a handy. But I guess you were doing your own investigation, and the rash of murders of wealthy businessmen around town found dead on the ground next to the dead corpse of the hoe that murdered them and then killed themselves. I'm guessing this technology must be used to send signals directly to the brain to hypnotize them into becoming assassins.
Exactly right, Smedley. I knew by putting myself out as bait, as dangerous as that could be, I could find a clue to the true culprit. And with these devices, we have the smoking gun.
Oh no! What kind of deranged monster is mind-controlling prostitutes and turning them into assassins? Maybe we'll find out in the next exciting episode of Bugman!
was written, produced, and performed by me, Douglas Nailsin. Music came courtesy of Kevin MacLeod and other public domain sources. You're listening to the Mr. Nailsin Show here on RadioMisfits.com. Well, looky here. It appears Zack Snyder acknowledged the fan demand for Justice League 2 and I guess 3 too. I don't know. The Snyderverse, anyway, being sold to Netflix. What does it mean? Well, it means he saw it. So this is the direct covering this story. And basically all the story is on Vero, where Zack Snyder is known to hang out. And this guy, Jacob Torres, said, money talks. And, what does sell Zack Snyder Justice League to Netflix means money talks. And then he liked it. Now, this means it's all happening. So he has the hashtag, and then he has Stone Quarry Productions, which is Zack Snyder's production company, and all that stuff. And with the money talks, it's the point I was making when I talked about this in the previous video that I did, is that if there is a substantial sugar daddy available, then there are possibilities here. And with the position that Warner Brothers Discovery is in, where Zaslav was cutting a lot of things to shave off $3 billion in debt and this sort of thing, and agreeing to license product out, including DC product, most notably the Batman animated movie. Sandman is on Netflix already, although there's trouble there, which is the other part of this, where Zaslav apparently is not happy with Netflix and their schedule to pay Warner Brothers for their property. You got to pay them a license fee and that sort of thing. But it was a means by which to get income rather than just having this idea of an exclusivity over at HBO Max and all Warner Brothers product would only be there. That wasn't going to work so well because it didn't. And so the idea is, look, we get paid up front either way, even if the show or film or whatever isn't all that popular or a hit. The streaming service is taking the gamble on it, and they pay you up front for it. So looking for money, looking for other avenues of money to come in, and if someone presented this pitch to them, and that was the other rumor before all of this, is that there was this pitch on the part of the Snyder, that they would complete this, elsewhere. And since he's already a part of Netflix would be the one most likely to host this endeavor. And but he would have where you're practically eliminating the risk from Warner Brothers Discovery, and that we're going to fund it. Netflix will pay for the license and so on and so forth, but the actual production of the movie, if anything, would be very minimal on the part of Warner Brothers. And then it get a sizable chunk of what it makes. So that pretties up the offer. But it still cuts into the problems. Most, as I already mentioned, the nastiness between Netflix and Warner Brothers, but also, they've got their own plan. They're just now launching, and this whole other thing of new versions of the DC characters for the next 10 years and all of that. So how fast can Snyder whip out this other version of Justice League to just give a conclusion to this version that he introduced with the original cast and all that? It would be nice to have something like that as a good closure, if you will, on that version. But it would be just open in competition where Warner Brothers is in competition with itself, where it's splintering too much, where I think the desire was to keep it more cohesive as much as possible, because Zaslav sees the model of Marvel as the way to go. They're already stuck with Joker
and Matt Reeves, the Batman, having yet another in something like this, which I would imagine would only be one film. I just don't think they would, and then the whole idea was that there would be these solo films and, Aquaman and Flash and all that included in this. They're just now putting out The Flash, that's Zack Snyder's Flash. That's Ezra Miller, I'm not sure how they would negotiate that. It would certainly have to include the multiverse aspects and all that, but it's complicated. And yes, James Gunn said, yes, there is active development on multiverse projects, but that could be cartoons and maybe some live action streaming shows, stuff like that. And then eventually do the rumors of Crisis on Infinite Earths, as if that's going to be their Infinity War Endgame type scenario down the road. Yeah, sure. But something like this, a little side project, probably could bolster that in the long run, where the original cast shows up and meets their new versions and that kind of thing for the specialness of it all. But more than likely, I still think if anything were to come of this, it would probably be an animated project. Because that gets it more of a separation from the live action theatrical films that Gunn will be producing for them. So it is interesting that he liked it. Maybe that's all it is. He says, yeah, wouldn't that be something? And of course, especially on Vero, all throughout the release, the Snyder Cut movement and what have you, all that hashtaggery, on Vero, he would tease images and whatnot and say, oh, what does it mean? And sometimes that's what he was doing. Yeah, he was literally like he's the Riddler and he leaves you a clue, that sort of thing. Other things, you're probably reading too much in it, or he just wants to stir it up and say, hey, can I get this going? And probably more of the same here, but unless he's got investors lined up and they're on board with this and they made their pitch, and then it's Zaslav's call. If they can make a good enough argument as to why, but to do this, and just as the Gunn comes in and kind of shuts the door on this with Cavill being replaced, seems unlikely, even with that. But maybe there is an animated project, maybe that. But a lot of factors against it, no matter how much anyone would desire it. And it's the position Zaslav would find himself in, even if he really wanted it. He's like, I'm not seeing the numbers here. I'm not seeing the scenario. I think he's made his choice, and that's it. I'd love to see a conclusion to this. I would have rather they continued with those characters regardless of Snyder's involvement of the original cast and what have you, especially Cavill and Godot and Affleck. But the situation is what it is, and I imagine they've looked at the metrics and decided it's less risky and cheaper, which dilutes the risk with a new cast, and also betting that the anger will about what happened with Cavill and all that will calm down in a couple of years by the time you get to the release of their new Superman or what have you. But we'll see how that plays out. But it's all very unfortunate how that happened, and there's no way to make everybody happy. But again, is there some mysterious sugar daddy putting up the money enough to convince us, like, yeah, all right, knock yourselves out, do your superhero stuff too? Well, we'll see. The views and opinions expressed during the Mr. Nailsin Show do not necessarily reflect those held by RadioMisfits.com. So, any complaints and or comments should be sent to @Mr. Nailsin on Twitter, where they will be promptly ignored and or blocked.
how that could possibly happen, how anyone could be that irresponsible. And I thought, what data was in there that may compromise sources and methods? By that I mean names of people who helped, or et cetera. And it's just totally irresponsible.
This morning, the Justice Department is now looking into this matter. Classified documents from President Biden's time as vice president that were found in a private office.